So if you couldn't tell, there's important or not so important news if you're not chronically online in the Twitch community. And it all stems from a topic that's been a problem since streaming was even a thing. It's viewbotting. Basically, the gibberish-speaking French streamer XQC, who has more money in his bank account than a corrupt third world country, called out Cenat's gaggle of orbiters for, you guessed it, viewbotting.
1K, next day 800, next day 8K, next day 60K. That's the goal. I mean, then they have 20, 30, 20. That's the absolute goal of streaming it. I mean, we've been doing it all wrong for like a whole decade and we're fucking stupid. Howdy candy. Let's go.
XQC can.
So in that clip specifically, he calls out two of Kai's friends, Rakai, who's like a younger version of him, you know, his protege, which makes sense if you look at their content. And Reggie, who also streams with Kai, hangs around that whole community. Now, I'll be honest, I don't watch streamers, okay? Just thinking about spending hours of my time watching a Twitch stream almost makes me sick. So I'm an outsider looking in. I have no attachment to any of these people. Okay, I don't want an attachment. But by just looking at pure numbers and not anything else, if you go to Twitch Tracker and look at Rakai and Reggie, both the people XQC called out so eloquently, they do indeed have like these massive spikes, and they don't seem very organic in my eyes. Like most streamers or just content creators growth in general, if they're completely organic, it's a very steady like hill, which with these two guys, it goes from like 1,000 viewers to randomly Mount Everest. You know, they're at the 1% of the 1% of streamers. But one thing to keep in mind is their situation is also not organic. Okay, they kind of have cheat codes with the loud equals funny king himself, Cenat, pushing their content and like shouting them out. But however you want to look at it, these comments from XQC definitely did not go unnoticed, pretty much dividing the entirety of Twitter into either XQC is just hating or all these people he called out are viewbotting and they need to go. And Cenat himself pretty quickly hopped on the drama and gave his thoughts about what XQC said.
Like on this clip right here, you know, I feel like people are entitled to their opinion. People, you know, could just think whatever they want. You know, that's fine. That's okay. Psych, I fucking lied. I'm tired of the dick riding. Get off my dick. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. It's like, I be holding back too much. I'm about to just let shit rain. Like, I'm tired. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Fuck all of that shit. Fuck all of that. Fuck all of that shit. Fuck that. Like, you might not realize it, but I'm gonna help you. It kind of look like you dick eating. Like, real shit. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny or mean. I'm gonna go ahead and say, it looked like you dick eating just a little bit.
I gotta say, Kai really knocked it out of the park, you know? No glaze. Okay, sarcasm aside, awful response. Like, I get being heated because somebody's accusing your streamer friend of viewbotting. That's a big deal. But Kai is mainly just verbally assaulting XQC with no lube and not really addressing the actual problem, which him avoiding the problem or saying whatever on its own is not indicative of anything, okay? That doesn't mean anything by itself. It's just weird how angry he is or how hard he's vehemently denying what XQC said without really directly contradicting him. Now, after this pretty fiery response dropped, XQC would once again come at the situation using, you know, facts and not feelings. Take that, liberal.
You haven't seen the build up to where they at right now.
What is the story behind the 4 days in a row under 40% chat rates? Listen, forget about what I said. Forget about anything that I know or don't know. Explain what type of story or what endeavor gets you to sub 40, sub 30% validation rate in chat. Explain it. I don't know. Just explain it. 4 days, 5 days in a row. I mean, why even attack me? Attack my story.
Now, if you don't know what chat validation is or whatever, it's basically the amount of people actually signed in while they're viewing a certain streamer. So ergo, whenever Rakai was getting these insane viewer numbers for 4 days in a row, the amount of people who were active and actually signed into a real Twitch account was under 40%, which you can spin that however you want. But to me, it sounded a little fishy, you know, just sounding a little like, why was Ted Kaczynski an MK Ultra type conspiracy? You feel what I'm saying? Now, a big argument for why people weren't signed in, or there was random boosts in viewers, was due to people using iPads or consoles or something, which is plausible, I guess. Okay, it's not impossible at all, but the stats on that would be crazy. And I find it hard to believe that they consistently pulled in tens of thousands of people and they all just happen to be using a console or an iPad or whatever logged out. Another explanation thrown out there was that these numbers could be explained by TikTok fame, and that's why their numbers were shooting up in these intervals, because when random clips from Rakai or Reggie's stream would pop off on TikTok, it would move more people to their Twitch, which could be true again. But I feel like most people on TikTok, similar to myself, have soup for brains and would just continue to watch the clips themselves and not waste their time going to a stream.
Like, if you were to use the argument that, oh, if you're all over TikTok, you do it, you go crazy. Okay, then how is Ron not 100K Andy then? Then explain how Ron and FaZe aren't like 100K each Andy, because they're all over the place on all socials. A lot more than some of these guys. And how come
Who cares about the story?
And how come all those viewers aren't on Xbox or PlayStation? And they're not on Tamagotchi, and it doesn't give you a validated viewer? How come these are all invalid viewers that don't register in the system?
Also, just for a little funny did laugh moment, speaking of Ron and FaZe in general.
Saying it, I
Man, XQC, bro, shut your hater ass up, bitch, before I smack the shit out of
truly
you.
believe it.
Yo, XQC, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. If you keep hating, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you, bro. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm sure you would, bud. Just like how Bradley Martin smacked you halfway across the gym. But a big point for a lot of the people on Twitter who literally think Kai is like their family member or like their best friend or something, you know, parasocial relationship for the wind, is XQC is only saying this because it's like a race thing where he just hates them. But I mean, when did XQC ever mention race? He even said he thought Kai was legit on all fronts.
None of this is like at Kai. I said something about it at Kai's friends, whatever. Or it's a bit that feels bad. I didn't mean to say that, but Kai's been like really legit on all fronts. I don't know, like I've nothing against Kai like ever.
He simply pointed out something that is obviously a problem if it's true, and more responses started pouring in from other streamers in Kai's community. I mean, it was a big juicy T-bone of a drama.
You get in a lot of these situations sometimes. You feel me? As to you like the of this streaming shit. You've been out here for you've been streaming, one of the first streamers. You feel me? You've been streaming on this bitch for years. In my opinion, to avoid drama and looking like a hater, whether you're telling the truth or not, I haven't looked at shit. I don't give a fuck. I think you should just slide in some DMs from now on. You feel me?
Nope, I don't do that shit. Sorry, man, I don't do that shit. Hey, if you do something in public, brother, you're in the scope of the public. Okay, if you do some shit in the public, I look at it at the public's eye and I call it in the public. Okay, I'm not gonna go hide in the fucking DMs and be like, yo, dude, blah, 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 and try to like cut a deal or something like that. It's just not. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it.
Now, I don't even know who this guy is, and I get what he's trying to say, but I've got to keep agreeing with, dare I say it, my new GOAT, XQC here. If he tried to actually handle this situation in the DMs, what would it even do? Okay? And also, what would you even say? Like, hey man, are you possibly perchance viewbotting on the low? Also, can I get a foot picture? I mean, what? What would that do? Why would he admit to it or say yes or anything besides get out of my DMs or just block you? I also saw another interesting comparison where somebody showed Kai's chat with over 100K viewers next to XQC's chat with like 14K, and XQC's was moving faster, but there could be a multitude of factors that could affect that, such as time of day for each clip, spam, what was happening on stream, etc. So I don't know if that one's super fair, but it is something to consider. I think the biggest thing that annoys me about Reggie, Rakai, all these people, you know, Kai too, his orbiters, whatever, they just seem to repeat the same things. Like, you're hating, we're just trying to make it, we've got motion, whatever. But it's never factual claims. It's never saying, no, we didn't do this, or here's the stats to prove it. It's just either attacking XQC's character or saying, you just want to bring us down. And that's not really an argument. And not only that, but interesting enough, it seems since this drama has sparked up, some stats have started to come back down. Now, does that prove anything? Not really. Kai could have just taken their viewers to his stream because he's bigger than them. Could have been a weird day, Or maybe they were actually just viewbotting, but who knows? Now, I don't got shit against Reggie or Rakai personally. I didn't even know who they were until today. And there's no actual concrete proof they did anything. So until then, innocent until proven guilty. But even with that being the case, I wouldn't mind seeing some thorough investigation by Twitch or some third party that could actually provide data. And maybe we would get some kind of online Salem witch trial of any of these streamers who do in fact viewbot on the regular. Because if XQC's claim is true, it's insane to me that some of the biggest streamers on Twitch that are even being propped up by the actual biggest streamer on Twitch are so heavily viewbotting. But I guess it doesn't really matter because Kick is like 5 gazillion times worse. So no matter where you go, you're gonna have a little bit of viewbotting, I think. So who cares, I guess. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, all that. If we hit 75 likes, I'll take 3 Yurkaset and plow through my nearest Dollar General wearing nothing but a gaming graphic tee. Also, before you go, give me your thoughts on the situation. Is XQC maybe just bringing other people down and seeing things? Or do you think Kai's community may have an actual serious botting situation? All right, leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.